Hello research leaders applicants. In this presentation, I will discuss the application part B1 implementation section. Finally, the third evaluation criterion is the implementation, which accounts 20% of the final score. This is about the quality of the work plan, including the allocation of tasks and resources and project management. So, in first sub criterion under implementation is about the coherence and effectiveness of the work plan and the appropriateness of the allocation of the task and resources. Here you need to describe how the work planning and the resources mobilized will ensure that the research and training objectives will be achieved. Also explain why the proposed activities are appropriate in relation to the duration of the fellowship. You can describe your work packages using the tables. Don't forget to add the Gantt chart because it is one of the important part of this section. In table and Gantt chart should have work packages title, list of major deliverables, list of major milestones, and secondment if it is included. If the Gantt chart with sufficient details is not included in the proposal, then it is likely that you will lose some score for this section. Please ensure that your Gantt chart should be readable and printable on paper. For that, I would suggest before submitting your full application, please print your Gantt chart and check whether it is easy to read and printable or not. Another important point I would like to make it here is that your proposal should be integrated. For example, if you mention that you will do something in excellence and impact section, so have you linked it to the deliverables in section 3 implementation? So your three parts, excellence, impact, and implementation, should be integrated, so it make it more attractive, and there is a possibility that you can get good score. Now moving on to the next section, 3.2 is about appropriateness of the management structure and procedure, including risk management. Here you need to describe the organization and management structure as well as the progress monitoring mechanisms in place to ensure that the objectives are reached. Also explain the contingency plan if any risk occur to achieve the research and training objectives. To do that, you need to ensure that your proposal is sufficiently ambitious, both scientifically and in terms of your career development, to make it worth funding, and also present the evidence to show that you will be able to complete your research project as it designed by highlighting the previous experience of yourself and your supervisory team, and also acknowledge the parts that will be challenging and show your plan to address those challenges or plan B if that part does not work. Now, next section 3.3 is appropriateness of institutional environment infrastructure. So here we look for the information regarding the active contribution of all host organization in research and training activities, the main task and commitments of all host organization, for example, outgoing phase host, chagas, and secondment host if it is included. You can describe the infrastructure and logistics facilities offered are sufficient and necessary for the good implementation of research activity. Please note that the letters of commitment from the host organization will be taken into account while evaluating this section. Please also note the difference between 1.3 in excellence and section 3.3 here in implementation. I already described this difference earlier, but I'm again going to repeat this here. The hosting arrangements, which are the part of excellence sub-criterion 1.3, which refers to the integration of researcher in new environment at the host premises, whereas infrastructure and logistic facilities in the host organization is a part of implementation sub-criterion 3.3. So, finally, please remember that you are making a sale pitch to the evaluators. They are allocating public money to fund this fellowship for 3 years. So they need to be convinced that the proposal is worth funding and it can be delivered as it is designed. So if you plan to write the entire proposal over a week, that it is likely that the proposal will be weak and will not be funded. This will mean that you have wasted your time. if you are going to write a proposal, it is better to invest sufficient time and make the high chances for the success. In evaluating the proposals, the quality of the proposal is often related to the amount of time and thoughts that the applicant has put into the proposal. So, the next is I would like to give some tips to write a winning proposal. So, please follow the instruction provided in the red text in templates. It should contain all the information that you need to complete the form. Designed research project should be realistic and achievable in 36 months time period. Application full title should complement to the proposed research project and reflect the goal of the study. Describe your research proposal in non-technical terms. Use clear, plain language and avoid jargons. Make sure your proposal is free of typographic and grammatical errors. Remember that at panel level, the reviewers are multidisciplinary and will include researchers in fields of other than yours. So, follow the KIS principle, keep it simple, and reviewers like this way. Now, the important thing is please note the difference between the sections 1.3 and 3.3, sections 1.4 and 2.4, and sections 2.2 and 2.3. So, in section 1.3 and 3.3, the difference so that what's the difference? So, in 1.3, you have to describe about the integration of researcher in host organization, and 3.3 is about the infrastructure and logistic facility of host organization, whereas section 1.4 is about your past experience and the fellowship, how will help to develop you in independent researcher during the fellowship, whereas 2.1 is about how this fellowship help you to achieve your career goal after the fellowship. And section 2.2 and 2.3 is the difference between the communication and dissemination. So in 2.2, you have to mention that how you disseminate your research results to your peers or and end users. Whereas in 2.3, you have to describe how you will communicate to your results to the non-specialists like general public. The next is applicant and supervisor's CV will be taken into account while evaluating the section 1.3 and section 1.4. So the information provided in the CV should be consistent with other parts of the full application. Get the proposal reviewed and commented by others before the submission. So you get an idea where you need to improve in your proposal. The proposal is sufficiently ambitious, both scientifically and in terms of career development, to make it worth funding. Also, present evidence to show that you will be able to complete it as it designed by highlighting the previous experience of yourself and your supervisory team and acknowledge the part that will be challenging and that uh, show your plan to address those challenge or plan B if that part does not work. You should be ambitious, but it needs to be clear that you will be able to achieve your aims. If you propose to do something that seems extremely ambitious, then you need to provide some evidence to show that it is possible. If you plan to write the entire proposal over a week, it is likely that the proposal will be weak and will not be funded. Then remember that the marks are not just for the research project. The aim of this program is to train the next generation of research leaders in agri-food domain. Therefore, the career development aspect of the fellowship are extremely important. So, my advice is that please give your full time and thoughts in each section and make it worth funding. Now, finally, some more advice is about that You can make your research proposal more attractive by including conceptual diagram explaining your research aim and hypothesis, schematic diagram explaining your research methodology, or table or diagram explaining your experimental design. Please note that these are just an example. You can use your own innovation and pass your message in a attractive and smart ways. So, good luck for your application, and if you have any confusion or question, please contact us on researchleaders2025 at checkers.ie email address, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time.